Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to share with you a short yoga practice that I use most days to help me to manage my chronic low back pain. My name is Cindy, and I am a personal trainer and yoga teacher, owner of Movement for All, my award-winning business. I work with people like myself who are older, who have chronic pain, perhaps arthritis, and I will give lots of options and choices from being on a mat to using a chair, a wall, etc. So I'm going to start today by just showing you and offering you a variety of ways to help manage your chronic back pain. And the way I like to start this practice is either in a bed or lying on a mat with my feet on a chair. Now, I like to put a heating pad under my back. It really helps to kind of warm up the area before I start moving in other ways. So again, you can picture if you're in your bed and you place a couple pillows under your legs, you'll be able to get that same shape. Or if you're on the mat like I am with a heating pad option under your back, just laying here, getting the knees above the hips, relaxing the low back into the mat. And as I said, I start my practice this way, and I stay here for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on my time. And sometimes I do meditation along with that. But I know coming to the mat may not be accessible for everybody, so there are options, as always. So another way you could get a very similar feeling in your body would be perhaps using 2 chairs here. So again, you've got that knees kind of a little bit above the hips here. Just kind of get that angle, pressing the low back into the mat. Excuse my voice. The low back into the mat here. And just relaxing, maybe a pillow or a cushion you could hold on to. And just the basic idea, the intention of the first part of the practice is just to relax, to get to notice how you feel today, where are the openness, open spots in the body, where are the tightness, maybe pain that you might be feeling today. So that first part of the practice is really important, I think, to give yourself that time to be able to check in, notice how you feel, all of that. So that would be up to you as to how long you would like to do that. So now, the second thing that I do is movement in cat-cow. So I'm going to start on the mat, and then I'll give you, again, lots of choices. Now, I love props and supports because, again, it really helps me with my arthritis throughout my body. So I'm going to show you, invite you into cat-cow from a kneeling position here. I use a kneeling pad. You could put a blanket under your knees if you'd like, or any kind of padding if that works for you. I also like my hands on something like these wrist grips. I use these, but you could use a yoga block or maybe go to forearms. So the purpose of cat-cow, the intention, is to really begin to move the spine and be able to connect breath with movement. So from our kneeling position, I'll start here. It would be an inhale as you lift the tailbone and lift the gaze. And then exhale, arching the back, rounding the spine, tucking in the tailbone toward that chin. You might be looking down towards your knees, towards your belly button, and just moving in whatever ways work best for you. Inhaling and exhaling here. And again, just seeing how that feels. Now, options besides kneeling on the mat would be, again, coming back to your chair. So one way you could do this with one chair would be sitting in your chair. Hands would be on the thighs. On the inhale, again, lengthening, looking up, getting that space here, opening up the heart. And then on the exhale, rounding. So again, wonderful options here to be able to move in cat-cow from whatever position works for you. A second chair option is always nice. I'm a big fan of the second chair. Inhaling and exhaling here. So again, you get the idea of the different options. Now, coming to standing option, and of course I'm going a lot faster than I usually do because I'm trying to condense all of this in about a 15-minute practice for you. Another way that I love to practice, either with my hands on the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, is cat-cow from here. So again, you see the different options that you have. You could also stand and put your hands on your thighs here. Right? So I'm an accessible yoga teacher. I've been trained in a variety of ways that we can move, and the power is yours, right, to decide how it feels to you. And then the last way is the wall, right? So again, you could look up and then tucking and rounding. So there's a multitude of ways, again, like with everything, that you can practice cat-cow. And that's a great way. I love cat-cow. I use it a lot during the day. When my back starts to bother me a bit, I go into my cat-cow movements, okay? So now we're going to come into a little bit of strengthening. It's really important to add strength into this, what we call the posterior chain of the body, so that we can be nice and strong and be able to manage and support the muscles around the spine, okay? So the first way, I'm going to start in the chair, and I'm going to use a ball here, a little kid's ball, or a Pilates ball, behind my back. Now, you don't have to have a ball. I'm just showing you lots of options here. So, strengthening here, sitting nice and tall, hands can be across the chest, and you want to press into that ball or press your back toward the back of the chair, and then coming back up. So it's an inhaling and then exhaling back, really coming, using these muscles here. Now, if you don't have a ball, all is well. You can lean back toward the back of the chair, make sure your feet stay planted, and then come up. So this is, again, lots of ways that you can begin to strengthen here the back body, okay? Another option would be using the chair again, what we call up dog. So you can step back and you can press the hips toward the chair, draw the shoulders down. This is upward facing dog. Then you could come back to that start position plank, and then you can do it again. So again, this is another choice that you have. And then one of my favorite ways to practice strengthening of the back is use of a wall. So again, you could have the hands on, I have a ballet bar here that I use a lot, but you could have your hands on the wall, maybe the forearms on the wall, standing close, and you're going to just press your hips toward the wall, begin to look up here, squeezing the glutes. The glutes are the muscles we sit on. That helps to support the back. And then coming back to start position. Breathing any way that feels best to you. And when you're strengthening, you want to try to get between 8 and 15 or so repetitions, depending on how it feels to you. And then you always have the option of the mat, okay? Excuse me while I clean house here. So here, if you're wanting to be on the mat, one of my favorite strengtheners here is the seal, S-E-A-L. So the hands come to the outside of the mat, your forearms and elbows are down on the mat, you're starting a line down in this prone position, reaching out from the tops of the feet, lengthening through the legs, pressing the hip bones into the mat. Exhale first and relax, melt into the mat, and then as you're ready to inhale, we're going to begin to lift the head and chest off the mat. You can stay here. Again, those glutes are active here. You want to squeeze those glutes, and you can also come up on the forearms, elbows. You can also press into the hands and come up with a little more of an extension. So you can see here in this position, I'm just giving, again, as I always do, lots of options. Shoulders relaxing down. You can stay here. You can come up and down a few times. Again, the repetitions are just working against gravity here. So I'm adding a little strength training along with some yoga here as well. Okay, so that's another way, again, so that's the strengthening part of what I do to help to keep my back nice and strong. And then the last thing is going to be a stretch or relaxation, child pose or puppy. So I'm going to stay on the mat here for this one to start. And I, again, am a big fan of the kneeling pad. I also love a bolster here, or a blanket, or a cushion, maybe a cushion from your couch or something like that can be really nice. And there's, again, a variety of ways you can do this. So, in child pose or puppy, this is a stretch, basically for those posterior muscles that we've been working throughout the practice this morning. So, from hands and knees, the knees can be wide, or you can have the knees closer together. You're going to sink back. Now, you might be working with some knee sensitivities, so you might want to keep your hips up in the air. You could also put a towel or cushion underneath the knees, in between the knees, I should say, back here. So that would help a little bit with the amount of pressure that you might feel. But the idea of child or puppy is to get into relaxed posture so that you can sink in, relax, connect your forehead to something, maybe your hands, maybe the mat. And another great way to do this is with a bolster. I love this one. If I have some extra time, I just sink myself on the bolster. I might turn my head one way or the other, or put the forehead on the mat, again on the bolster, and just taking a relaxation here. This could be part of your Shavasana, final relaxation. That is really important to integrate all the different movements and the breathing that you did, okay? So now, if this is not an option for you on the mat, we can use the chair. So here, this is one of my favorite ways to do this with the bolster again, would be sitting in a chair, place the bolster kind of in between my knees, hands can be on the bolster, and again, you're getting that rounding, that relaxation here. If you don't have a bolster, you could again use the second chair. Again, hands there, melting down, just finding relaxation here, breathing into back body. So finding some way in our child pose or puppy that you can take some time for yourself at the end of this short practice to be able to just rest and breathe and just again stepping into your day with calmness, with relaxation. And one thing, I'm going to definitely do some more videos on breath work, but one thing that helps me is the longer exhale. So it's been shown in research that if you inhale to wherever's comfortable and then exhale maybe a little bit longer than that inhale, that will help the relaxation response to kick in, help us to kind of melt a little bit more, okay? So again, these are just some ideas for you. Of course, always as you're moving, noticing how you feel, how the levels of pain or discomfort might be, or also the levels of openness. You know, how does your back feel as you're doing this? That's the key to be able to stay focused. So thank you for practicing with me today. I'm always grateful that you are here. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can reach more people if you find what I offer is helpful. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.